Welcome to the History Lord. You join us here in a little park just on Pentonville Road between Angel and King's Cross. Now, it's a little bit noisy. It's a Sunday morning. We thought we'd come when it was a bit quieter. It's not that quiet. We've got pedestrian crossing over there and traffic whizzing up and down. So if you do hear traffic noises, just please ignore them. But today we're going to be talking about circus. And in particular, if you've seen the title card, one person in particular. Now, just give you a bit of context. We've mentioned circus before in one of our other videos. The video is entitled...
You may recognise this street.
You may recognise this street.
There's a link in the top right corner.
There you go. Thank you, James, for doing that. Link top right corner. And I've got my notes down here because I can't remember his name. Philip Astley was the chap who set up the first recognised circus in this country. It was a 42-foot diameter ring. It was equestrian feats, and then he added what we know as clowns and trapeze artists and acrobats, etc. Now, the word circus is Latin, and it derives from the ancient Greek kirkos, that just means circular. So there you go. But today we're talking about the father of modern clowning. Roll the titles. Joseph Joe Grimaldi was an actor and a pantomimist and a clown, and he was born on the 18th of December in 1778. And he's born what is now Aldwych, the present day Aldwych, so about a mile and a half, 2 miles just south west of here. His father was an Italian clown. His father was a proponent of the Italian comedy dell'arte, and that's how he trained his young son to be a comedian from an early age. Joe Grimaldi made his stage debut at the age of just 3, just down the road here in Sadler's Wells. And I think the production was, let me have a quick look. Where is he? He was a child dancer, and it was called Pandora's Box. And that was on the 16th of April, 1781. So he's 3 years old there. Now, his father, Giuseppe Grimaldi, was a ballet master as well as being a pantaloon, a forerunner to the clowns of today. And his mother was called Rebecca Brooker, and she was a bit part player and a dancer as well in some shows at both Sadler's Wells and what is now the Royal Opera House, but it was then called the Theatre Royal Covent Garden. Now, Grimaldi's first appearance as a clown, as Grimaldi Jr. that is, his first appearance as a clown was in 1800, and he played Guzzle, the drinking clown, and that was in a play called Peter Wilkins, and the other title was Harlequin in the Flying World. It was written by the dramatist Charles Dibdin, and Charles Dibdin appears a few times in this story as an influence of Joe Grimaldi. It was the first time that Joseph, or Joey as he was now called, was dressed in his extravagant costume, multicoloured with the white face with the 2 half-crescent moons on his cheeks as well. It became such a famous look that the word Joey became to mean clowns all over the world. Joey quickly became known as the King of the Clowns, and he appeared all over London as this character. He appeared in tragic and comedy parts as well. He also turned the clown's character from a rural fool into a stalwart of metropolitan life. His clown was irreverent. He ridiculed the establishment. He had no respect for property or for private values, etc. So he became a firm favourite with the adoring crowds. One of his biggest successes was as Mother Goose in a play called Harlequin and Mother Goose, or The Golden Egg, and that was a Christmas pantomime written by Thomas Dibdin, who was Charles's brother, and that was performed at the Theatre Royal in Covent Garden, and that piece became one of the most successful pantomimes ever at that theatre, and it ran for quite a while. Grimaldi was a hit of audiences from all walks of life and all classes. There's a wonderful story that was told a few years ago that a chap went to an early psychiatrist one day back in the early 1800s, and he was telling the psychiatrist that he was very upset and very depressed. And the psychiatrist said, "No worry, I have a cure for that. Just go to Sadler's Wells Theatre and watch a performance by this wonderful clown called Joseph Grimaldi. He'll make you happy, he'll take all your cares away." And the patient just sadly looked at the psychiatrist and goes, "But I am Grimaldi." Well, is that the origin of the Tears of the Clown story? Who knows? It's a lovely story though, isn't it? Now, moving on. 1816, Grimaldi took his art outside of London for the first time, and he did a 2-year tour across the country. He came back to acclamations and praise from everyone. When he came back to London, he moved into an apartment, a flat in Exmouth Market, and that's now marked by a blue plaque, and he stayed there for about 10 years, I think, leaving there in 1828. By the 1820s, Joseph Grimaldi's health had started to decline. He was a very physical actor and a physical performer, and it took a toll on his body, quite sadly. So much so that for a number of performances, he was actually carried from his home in Exmouth Market, the short distance to Sadler's Wells. He went on stage, performed, and then was carried either back home or to a local hostelry. His young son, who was also called Joseph, who was born in 1802, took over some of his roles, but sadly, because of his liking for strong drink, he wasn't as successful as his father, and he died at the age of just 30 as an alcoholic, which is a sad story indeed. Joseph Grimaldi himself died in 1837, not far from here, in what is now Calcott Street. The building he died in is sadly no longer there. But he was actually buried in St James's Churchyard in Pentonville. And that's where we are now. So, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to actually introduce you to the wonderful, one and only, Joseph Grimaldi. So this is the old site of St James's Church in Pentonville Road. It was deconsecrated in about the 1940, well, after the Second World War, 1946-47. And this graveyard was deconsecrated as well. And it was turned, we just let the ambulance go by, and this was turned into a park. And they renamed it Joseph Grimaldi Park in honour of our friend here. And this is the only grave that's left. All the other gravestones have been put around the edges of the park. But there's one other thing I want to show you in this park before we go off somewhere else to continue this story, and that's just over there. Let's go, shall we? Over the years, as an actor, I've done a bit of clowning in my time. Years ago, when I was younger. And if James does his popery bits of technology, there you go, that's me. Oh, isn't I cute? Enough with it. Well, I'm not cute if you've got to see her a clown. Don't worry about it. I was a nice clown, but there you go. Now, in Joseph Grimaldi Park in 2010, an art installation was placed here, and it's just over here. James is doing a really good job walking backwards. I'm just making sure he doesn't fall over, which he doesn't. Good, because down here, I'm going to go and stand at the top of them. These are two bronze graves. This one is to Joseph Grimaldi, and on the other side, there we are. This one is to Charles Dibdin, who wrote a lot of Grimaldi's songs and shows. Now these are actually, as I said, art installations. They're brass, and you're meant to actually stand on them and push the things. And they used to make noises, like pedestrian crossings, but they used to make noises. And if you trod them in the right way, they actually played Hot Codlings, which is a song that Charles Dibdin wrote specifically for Joseph Grimaldi. But our story is not finished yet, because today is Sunday the 5th of February in 2023, and it's the first Sunday in February, and every year we have a service, and that was a memorial service for Joseph Grimaldi. Let's go, shall we? So here we are outside All Saints Church in Haggerston, and this today, 5th of February 2023, is the annual clown service. It alternates between here and Holy Trinity in Dalston, and Holy Trinity is called the Clown Church. There's been a service ever since the 1940s to commemorate Joseph Grimaldi, the chap we're talking about today. And there's a few clowns out and about, and we are going to interview them. So let's have a chat, shall we? First and foremost, can you tell us who you are, please?
My name is Susie Opple.
Bibbidi Bob.
Bibbidi Bob.
Andy the Clown.
And what's your name?
Ginger Nut.
Ginger Nut. You may have guessed from the lovely
the badge.
The lovely badge. There we are. It's a Ginger Nut badge.
Hello there. How are you? Good morning. No speeding, please. No speeding. I've got a speed camera. I will get you. Sorry.
That's all right. You've got to do your job, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. No speeding.
Yeah, no speeding.
Firm but fair. Firm but fair.
They were walking a little bit fast, weren't they?
I would like to see the tread on their shoes.
Really?
I don't think there's much depth.
There you go. I'm not going to mention skid marks at all. You know,
No,
don't you?
you know. Let's not go there.
And how long have you been clowning Flippy Flop?
Since 2, I think.
Since you were 2. I'm not going to.
8 years, haven't you?
It's 8 years. I'm not really good at maths. You're 10 now. Is that right?
Yes.
Wonderful. You should never ask a lady how old they are. So, how much do you weigh? Where are you based now?
I'm based in Brighton.
Oh, right. Right, I know it well.
It's the rainbow. Yeah.
Matt and me spent our honeymoon in Brighton, so there you go.
Oh, brilliant.
Not him. He's not. He's my.
Oh, right.
No,
Okay.
that's not my.
I wasn't invited.
He wasn't invited. No. I've known Ian Tom for. We're not going to tell me how many years, are we?
Man and boy.
Man and boy. Quite a few
Quite
years.
a few years.
And Ian Tom is a fellow brother in red with me. If you know my meaning. Ho 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 ho. But there you go.
Actually, it was just
Have you got your?
quite a long time.
It's a very long time.
But very long time.
Yeah, it's a very long time. But there you go. Oh, brilliant!
Thank you.
I like that prop. What does the legacy of Grimaldi mean for you as a clown?
Well, Grimaldi's the godfather of all clowns. I mean, that's where we came from, where we were born from.
It's history. He's our culture. He's our history.
He was the first British clown, certainly, that we know of. He was a megastar in the London theatre, mainly Sadler's Wells and Drury Lane. And he invented so much business, including the pantomime dame.
It's a serious service, also remembering other clowns that have fallen over the last few years and remembering our friends in a light-hearted, funny but reverential way.
Today's a great day. We can celebrate with friends and family and really have a good time.
So there you go. That was a brief look at the life of Joseph Grimaldi, with a little bonus of a few clowns thrown in as well. Thank you very much for watching. We do hope you enjoy these videos. We certainly enjoy making them for you. We especially enjoyed making this one today for you. And if you want to see what we do outside these videos, please have a look at James's channels. They're called Last Line Films and his wonderful podcast as well. And have a look at my website, historylord.co.uk. Thanks for watching. We'll see you very soon. Take care.